Okay, let's go again. 5 minutes. So, how are the title players doing? Let me have a look at a title player while waiting. Kathleen Bridge. I don't think he's playing a game, unfortunately. Shredded is playing. We can watch Shredded for a bit. Maybe. Or maybe he's not playing at the moment. We got a game. Queen FX. Okay, I think let's try a French defence. See with a new dynamic approach of access paths if I can show I can win with the French, even with the E5 structure. Let's see. Although I like the burn variation, I have been doing one in the burn variation in the previous season. I think it's more dynamic with D-takes. There are other access paths, diagonals, pressure on D5. I think with the pawn chain on E5, that's where I'm having problems at the moment. But it is a crap position, the pawn on E5 and a locked pawn chain. And it seems a lot of people do go down without much counterplay sometimes in it. It's just one of the kind of facts of life, I suppose, in the French defence, in that variation. But here, you know, there's a bit of counterplay, G-file, diagonal. Okay. So I get that G-file. Let's try and strike at the dark squares here. So something like F5 and Bishop F6 later. Or Knight C5. I think here is the timing for Bishop F6. Okay, so C5, I hope Knight C5 is going to be usually interesting. Right. I think the king should be brought away, or A6 maybe, just in case I'm going to lose this C pawn. Possibly over here. So I'm waiting for D5 and Knight C5, which looks like quite a risky strategy. Also Knight B5 check for Rook A3 could be dangerous. Okay, here we go. So it's extending my bishop though, D5. I'm prepared a little bit for Knight B5 with this A6. So can I play anything interesting here? E5 or Knight E4, bishops, C3, Knight E4. What about just waiting again? If I just wait again, I'm not really sure. Okay, if I take Knight D5, it's nasty. What about F4 here? That looks like an interesting move. Take. Actually, my Knight's supporting that, so maybe CD first. Although this looks dangerous with the Queen for Knight B5 Rook A3. CD and F4. Okay, let's try this. So F4 here. So I'm hoping Knight B5 is not dangerous as a threat. Got a bit of pressure on F3. Going, the diagonal looks good. Actually, there's Queen F5 on the cards. Okay, I can take like this here for a sec. Knight's protecting E6 for a moment. In fact, almost Rook D1. It's dangerous. Now there's D file. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. So Queen F5. Queen F5 just looks simply dangerous. Okay. Okay, if I move this bishop, okay, I'll just move the bishop. So knight takes, bishop takes. There's a check here on f5 to factor in. Okay. All G file. Okay, I think rook. Starting to get a bit hairy. Okay, what about rook f8 actually? Just to try and get a grip on f3. That f file is a bit vulnerable. Is there going to be rook e7? No, I doubt it. No, there's no rook e7. Rook e6, queen f3. So here, okay, I'm trying to check. Maybe queen d5 looks good. That's a pin. As pins go. Right, so I wonder now if I just use that pawn or I'll go for this ending. Oh, he's going to take on h7. Ah, no, he's not. So 2 minutes each. Okay, go against knight c6. Don't really want to draw. I want to play. So I'm on f2 anyway. I've got this d pawn. It's probably, I don't know, it might be better, I suppose, but I don't want to do that. This ending. Let's have a look at this ending. So bishop d6 could be handy. Is the bishop better than the knight? Possibly in this position, if I can take and get the king's the pawn. So if knight f3, that looks like a sort of passive knight for a moment. I think I've got to get the king in. Get the king in without losing a pawn to knight f6. I'll take the pawn for a start. And h5 is actually okay, h5 knight f6. Okay, exchange of prisoners here. Get this h4 pawn for h5. I went f2. Is that progress or not? Maybe there's d pawn d4, king d5. Okay, the bishop's kind of dominating the knight. Where is the knight going here? If I get my king in aggressively, e4. Okay. Maybe not. Okay, maybe. Have I got time? Snag the pawn. Okay, that protects the pawn when I move the king. Can I get the king to a4? Knight f5, king b5. a4 though, oh, okay. Let's try and, I think, alright, let's see what this position holds. If I get the bishop to d6, then play a5. We'll get ready to play a5 soon. That little tactic idea. But is this winnable? Is this ending actually winnable? This a4 bishop takes on. Is he going to win that pawn? Alright, I'll play a4 to try and fix this a3 if I get the bishop to attack a3. Or okay, so takes, then a3, king c2, a3, knight d2, a2. Might be free. Oh, it doesn't work there. Okay, can I get the bishop in like this? Is there any way of getting it in over there? Aha! C1 has reared possibility, but I'm going to lose. Hold on a second. I'd rather wait for a moment to get king c4 in and then play bishop c1. Once the knight moves away, zugzwang move. I want to play bishop c1 next. That might be difference of important difference. Ah, it's getting my pawns. It's lost on time, but it's a draw, isn't it? Oh well. Tense game, that one. Okay, so the old Bern variation, it's active pieces really. It's a real contrast to the closed French positions, which is probably why I was doing a bit better actually the season before in this rather than this season. The very closed Frenches maybe don't suit my style really. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.